What's up, guys? Today I'm doing a comparison between all of the black gel refills I own. I'm not going to be going too much into pen refill compatibility. This is just to show differences between the black refills. So without further ado, let's get started. First of all, we're going to start with the Pentel Energel in 0.4. This is a nice refill. It's quite thin, and I prefer to go one step up because this is a bit too thin for me. I go with the Pentel Energel 0.5. This pen is in the Sharpie sleek metal barrel, which is my favorite of the Sharpie S gels. I have a video on that. Next, we're going to go with a blue-black refill, just to show you size comparisons. This is the Zebra JF blue-black vintage refill. And this is the JF 0.5. Next, we have the Sharpie S gel in 0.5. This is a nice refill. If you want a 0.5 that's relatively thin, like the Pentel Energel, the needle point, but you want it in a conical point, this is the way to go. Next, we're moving up to the Zebra G350. The Zebra G350 in 0.5 is actually quite thick. Right? It's a very thick 0.5, not a true one, closer to 0.6, maybe even 0.7 millimeters. And this is the JLV, which is the Sarasa Dry refill. We also have the JRV in 0.5, which is that came with the Sarasa R. I believe that's released in 0.5 and 0.4. I heard that the 0.4 is more true to size, but I've never tried it. I don't plan on trying it because I don't think I want to go much less than 0.5. The difference between the JRV and the JLV is, I can't actually tell the difference. So I'm gonna just go with whatever's cheaper for that. It's my favorite refill. Next, we're gonna go to the 0.7 range. So the Uniball 207++, which I think is also the 307 ink. This is a very smooth refill, and it's, I think, archival, so that's good for whoever needs archival ink, but it's not as black. It doesn't dry as black as the next few refills that we're going to see now. So now in this sleek metal barrel, we have the Pentel Energel LR7. Slightly less smooth than the Uniball, but it's still as smooth as you'd ever want a pen to be, and it dries blacker, but you're losing all that archival stuff. Next, we have the Sharpie S gel in 0.7 millimeters. Slightly scratchier feeling than the Energel, but slightly blacker dry. And now we get to my favorite refill, which is the Zebra JLV in 0.7. This is the blackest refill I've ever tried in 0.7. It's smooth, as smooth as the Uniball. The only thing I think it doesn't have is the archival properties. It dries very quickly. And this has got to be my favorite refill. I put it in the Pentel X body because this is the best body when it comes to just a simple, comfortable. It's quite it's a bit thicker, so it's comfortable to hold for longer sessions. And finally, we have this guy, the Uniball UM153. This is a 1.0 millimeter refill. I don't know, it says waterproof, so I'm assuming it has archival properties that Uniball is famous for. This is super smooth. And it's also, it doesn't feel globby like, I have a Pentel LR10 in here, and something about the lines not as accurate. So I definitely prefer the UM153 for its smooth and accurate lines. Lays down a thick amount of ink. It's a pleasure to use. I don't use a 1.0 in a day-to-day scenario. It's a bit much. I don't feel like I can get as precise writing, but that's a nice one. And that's it when it comes to the black pens. So now we're just gonna move these aside. So, and we can maybe go in a little closer on the paper so you can see the difference. Let's go in a bit closer. So we have the Energel in 0.4, which was nice, a bit too scratchy for my taste. Then we have the Energel in 0.5. I believe that's a great day-to-day writer. And if you want it in a different body, I highly recommend, my daily driver is the sleek metal barrel with the Pentel LRN5. It's a very nice combination. Next we have the, if you really need a conical tip, then the Sharpie in 0.5 is a great way to go. If you're okay with going with something that's slightly bigger than a 0.5, then the zebras are way blacker. I hope this is coming out in camera. The zebras are definitely blacker than the Sharpie. The Uniball, you could really see that it's grayer than the rest, but it's got the archival properties. Between the Pentel Energel and the Sharpie S-Gel, when we come to 0.7, I think the zebra's a little blacker, but the smoothness of the Energel is more enjoyable. But really, in 0.7, nothing beats the Zebra JLV 0.7 millimeters. And again, the JLV versus the JRV, I didn't see that they offer a JRV in 0.7. So the JLV is the Sarasa dry refill. It's the best refill I've tried in 0.7 millimeters. Blackest, smoothest, it's just great. And finally, if you really need the archival properties and you're okay with a thick bold point, then you have the UM153. It dries a bit grayer than the rest, but it gives you the permanent qualities. I think also it's part of the trade-off when you get an archival quality pen. I heard that the Energel Permanent series is also a bit less black than the regular, so it probably has to do with that. So for 0.5, my recommendation is the Pentel Energel needlepoint or the Zebra if you're okay with slightly thicker 0.5. For 0.7, nothing beats the JLV. And for 1.0, if you need a black 1.0, then maybe a Pilot high-tech point in 1.0. I've never tried those. The reason I don't also have Pilot in any of these is because they dry grayer. They're great pen bodies, but the ink just dries grayer, so I prefer not to go with those. If you want another video comparing blue inks, I don't have much, but my favorite blue ink is the Zebra JLV in blue. It's really phenomenal. It's slightly darker than this Pentel blue. And yeah, I hope this video was helpful. And have a great day.